Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool, and this is your session on a chapter, The Language of Chemistry of ICSE syllabus for class 9. Okay, and before this, I have already covered 3 videos on various concepts, which are the most important fundamentals to understand the chemistry chapters further. And today's topic, I think, it's a wonderful topic that everybody must learn to understand chemistry. Okay, so that is about chemical equations and balancing a chemical equation. And please do check the description area for previous video links where definitely you should have basics before learning this concept. So if you want to clarify on those basics, you can go to the video links that is provided in a description box. And don't forget to subscribe our channel to learn the chemistry in the easiest way. I'll be covering the entire syllabus of ICSE class 8, 9 and 10 as well. Okay, and please do subscribe our channel. Thank you. Coming to the topic, chemical equation and balancing a chemical equation. First and foremost, let us try to understand what do you mean by a chemical equation. We write so many chemical equations, isn't it? So what do they talk about? What is the information that they are giving you? Understand carefully. Chemical equation is a way of representing chemical reaction with the help of symbols and formula. Okay, so this is the definition for chemical equation. Say, for example, I will tell you one chemical reaction that I conducted in a chemical laboratory. Okay, listen to this carefully. I took a long magnesium piece, I held to the fire, it burned with oxygen, and I got collected with the white color powder that was falling on a watch glass. This is what the explanation I gave you about chemical reaction that I conducted in a lab. How far did you understand about this? Can you tell me how far did you understand about a reaction completely? No, right? Lots of confusion. See, I explained in a long sentence. I explained in a normal language, taking too many words and too much of language I have to use for it. Where if a person doesn't know a proper English or something, how can he understand this long sentence that I explained? It's difficult, isn't it? So, to convey the matter, to convey about a reaction in the easiest way, I can use a shortcut. Okay, that shortcut is nothing but our chemical equation. And now whatever just now I told you about the reaction, I will write it in this form. See how far you can understand now. Mg plus O2 MgO. Whatever I just told now, see, I took a magnesium piece, I held it to the fire, reacted with oxygen, it gave you white powder of magnesium oxide. This is what I just told you few seconds back, isn't it? And you had lots of confusion about this. But now the same thing I have written like this. You can understand better, no? Looking at this, what you can say? Oh, Mg might have combined with oxygen. So you got a new substance, MgO. How easily you can understand if I write like this? Right? So that is what we call it as chemical equation. Now you can read the definition. It is a way of representing chemical reaction with the help of symbols and formulae. So in the previous videos, whatever you learned about symbols and formulae, we are using now. Okay, so this is what we call chemical equation. And The substances that are reacting, left side we have written Mg and oxygen, isn't it? What does this mean? It means that these two guys are reacting with each other. Okay, and the substances which are reacting are called reactants. They are called reactants. And the new substance that is formed is called product. Is called product. Okay, reactants are always written on left hand side. Left hand side. Products are always written on right hand side. Okay, but how do you define a reactant here? Reactant are the substances that react. Okay, and how do you define a product? Product is the new substance that is formed. Okay, so this is how you can define reactants as well as products. And remember, both reactants and products have to be separated with this kind of arrow mark. Okay, so what is this arrow mark telling you? These guys are reacting, so you are getting the new product, that is this MgO. Okay, so this is what we call chemical equation. Chemical reaction only we are telling people in the easiest way with the help of symbols and formulae. So when you write this and show to a people can easily understand which guys have reacted and which guy has newly formed, isn't it? Even if they don't know the language that you explain, by writing this you can convey the message easily to a people. Okay, so that is the use of chemical equation. Now what do you mean by balancing, and why we have to balance a chemical equation? Why should we balance chemical equation? We have to balance a chemical equation is because to obey the law of conservation of mass. To obey the law of conservation of mass. Okay, what do you mean by the law of conservation of mass? The law of conservation of mass says that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. Yes or no? What do you mean by that? Say for example, if I take one atom of magnesium, that one atom of magnesium must be produced as a product in some other form. It may not be there as pure Mg. It may be there in the form of MgO. Here it is there in the form of MgO. But when you take one atom of Mg for a reaction, that one atom of Mg must be there in the product also. Okay, you can't destroy this one atom of Mg during a reaction. And you cannot create extra atom of Mg also during a chemical reaction. How much ever Mg you took for a reaction, that much have to be produced as a new substance. Its form may be changed, its originality may be changed, but the number of atoms of Mg has to be retained. That means its mass has to be retained in a chemical reaction. It cannot be destroyed and it cannot be created extra also. Okay, so that is the reason we have to balance a chemical reaction. Okay, so now if you see, can this reaction obeys law of conservation of mass? One atom of Mg I took, okay, one atom of Mg is there as a product. 2 atoms of oxygen we took, but you have only one atom of oxygen. Where is one more atom of oxygen? Destroyed or what? It cannot happen, because law of conservation of mass is telling us mass cannot be destroyed, mass cannot be created extra during a chemical reaction. Okay, but here you have taken two atoms. Where is one more atom? Only one atom is there. Where is one more atom? So to show that, we have to balance a chemical reaction. Okay, whatever chemical reaction you write, each and every chemical reaction has to obey law of conservation of mass compulsorily. And that is the reason we have a concept called balancing. Okay, and this is the most important aspect one has to know to learn chemistry. Yeah, and many people will get confused also in case of balancing. So I am going to teach you a super duper trick on balancing, and if you know the trick, you will have fun in learning balancing the chemical equation, and you will never ever feel difficult with balancing. So let us learn the balancing with that super trick. Coming to the rules for balancing. Okay, if you can remember these rules, you feel balancing much more easy. The first rule that you have to remember is balance polyatomic groups. Balance polyatomic groups. If present in both reactants as well as products. Reactants and products. Reactants and products. Okay, this is the rule number 1. And second rule is, once you balance polyatomic groups, you all know what do you mean by polyatomic groups. Many a times I kept on telling about this in my previous videos. Yes or no? And if you want more details about polyatomic group, you can go to the video number 2 of this chapter. If you go to a description box, you will find it. Okay. So polyatomic groups balancing must get over initially. And after balancing polyatomic groups, then you have to go for balancing metals. Okay. Balance metals next. You have to go in this particular order, then you feel it more easy. Okay, after balancing metals, go for balancing non-metals. Go for balancing non-metals. Okay, and after balancing non-metals, go for balancing hydrogen, guys. Balance hydrogen if it is there in a reaction. And lastly, try to balance oxygen. Balance oxygen at the end. At the end. Always keep oxygen balancing for end. Okay. Last you have to balance oxygen. Fine. So these are the 5 super points that you have to remember to balance any chemical equation easily. Okay. So balance the polyatomic group. And that polyatomic group must be there both in a reactant side as well as product side. Okay, then only you have to consider it as a group and balance it. Otherwise, you should not consider it as a group. Separate element wise, you have to balance. And don't worry, I will show it with the examples. Okay, next you have to balance metals, after that non-metals, later hydrogen, and lastly, you have to balance oxygen. Okay, and now let us see few examples. Let us follow these rules and try to balance. The first equation I will take here is, this is a sodium sulfate plus barium chloride, giving you barium sulfate. It gives you barium sulfate plus NaCl. Okay, so this is the first equation I am taking, and first let us check whether it is balanced or not. Okay, sometimes some of the equations will be there in a balanced form. So first thing is you have to check if it is balanced or not. Let us check. Let us take the first element, sodium. Sodium has 2 atoms. Yes or no? 2 sodiums are there. But in the product, where is sodium? Here. How many sodiums are there? Only 1. Okay, here if nothing is there, imagine that there is number 1. Okay, so here two sodium atoms are there, here only one sodium is there, so definitely you have to balance this equation. If you check it with one element, you will come to know whether it is balanced or not. Okay, now you got to know this is not balanced, you should balance it. Okay, and what did I tell you first? What is the basic point I told you? Balance polyatomic group. Okay, find out if you have polyatomic group in this reaction or not. What do you mean by polyatomic group? Groups like sulfate, carbonate, nitrate, bicarbonate, nitrite, sulfite. Yes or no? So these groups check for if it is there in a reaction or not. Okay. Yes, it is there. Sulfate, SO4. See, this SO4 is there in product also or not? Is it there? Yes, it is there. So you can consider this as a group and balance. You don't need to consider sulfur separately, oxygen separately. Okay. So you are considering both the elements as a group. And that group must be there in a reactant side as well as product side. Then only you should consider it as a group. Otherwise, you should not consider it as a group. You should take it as separate elements only. Okay, fine. So let us see. Make a table till you get practiced with. Make a table. Reactants. Okay, products. Okay, so first what you have to balance, guys, according to the order you write. Sulfate, polyatomic group you have to balance. Next you should balance metals. No, which are metals here? Sodium is a metal, barium is a metal. Okay, first you take barium as a metal because barium is the biggest element onwards you should balance. Okay, or sodium also. Anyway, after that sodium you will balance. And after that, which is a non-metal here? Cl is there. So Cl you have to balance. So this order you follow now. Okay. So how many sulfate groups are there in the reactant side? 1. How many sulfate groups are there in the product side? 1. It's already there in a balanced form. So you no need to put any digits. Okay. And now coming to the barium. How many bariums are there in a reactant side, guys? 1. How many bariums are there here? 1. Okay, and how many sodiums are there in the reactant side? 2, guys. How many sodiums are there here? 1. So you need to balance sodium now. Okay, so wherever sodium is there in the formula, before that formula, say sodium is there here. Okay, so reactant side you have 2. Product side you have only 1. That means you have to start putting digits in the product side. Clear, everybody? So what is the digit you will start with? Put 2. Put 2 and check whether it will get balanced or not. Okay. So 2 you should not put it here. You should not put 2 here. This is very wrong way. Okay. Before a formula, left side of the formula, you have to start putting digits. Okay. Try putting from 2 onwards. See whether it is getting balanced or not. Okay, if it is not balanced, put 3. Like that, you should increase the digit. Okay, so now again you check. Sodiums 2 are there in the reactant side. Now in the product side also, your sodium atoms are 2. Now this 2 belongs to sodium also and it can belong to chlorine also. Okay, so never ever put 2 here. Always before a formula, left side of the formula, you have to put the 2. And once you have put the digit, now this digit can belong to sodium as well as chlorine also, remember. Okay, fine. So now we have balanced sodium. And coming to the chlorine, how many chlorines are there in the reactant side, guys? 2, isn't it? 2 chlorines are there. And how many chlorines are there in the product side, guys? This 2 belongs to chlorine also now. That means how many chlorines are there? 2 are there. So balanced. So just by putting 2 here, you are making every element, every group balanced. Okay. So this is what you have to follow for balancing. And let us see some more examples for balancing. Coming to the next example, guys. Calcium bicarbonate combines with calcium hydroxide and it will give you calcium carbonate plus water. Okay. So this is the equation. Where definitely it is not balanced only. Looking at the equation only, you can able to guess no element is balanced. You have to balance it. So start thinking from polyatomic group onwards. Balance polyatomic groups if present in both reactant and product. Do you have polyatomic groups here? Definitely. HCO3 is one polyatomic group. OH is another polyatomic group. But what is the condition, guys? The polyatomic group, whatever is there in reactant side, must be there in the product side also. Okay, here in a reactant side, you have, two HCO3 polyatomic groups. But where is HCO3 in the product side? Not there. Then in that case, you should not consider this as a group. You should consider hydrogen separately and balance, consider carbon separately and balance, oxygen separately you consider and balance. Element wise only you should balance, not as a group. Okay. Then one more polyatomic group is there, OH. But is that OH group there in a product side also? No, it is not there. Then this also you should not consider as a group and balance. You should consider oxygen separately, hydrogen separately. Okay, so now element wise only you have to balance. Not there is polyatomic group, though it is there, you cannot consider them as a group and balance because these guys are not there in a product side. Okay, you should consider as a group and balance only when the group is there both in a reactant side as well as product side. Otherwise, you should not consider. Okay, so this point is excluded. Now there is no use of this point for this particular reaction. Okay, next, if that is not there, what you have to balance, guys? Metals you have to balance. So among the reaction, which is a metal, guys? Calcium is a metal. Okay, first you have to balance calcium. Okay, only one metal is there, that is calcium. Next, after balancing metals, what you have to balance, guys? Non-metals. So which is a non-metal here? Carbon is a non-metal. Carbon is a non-metal. Okay, and after that, after balancing non-metal, what you have to balance? Hydrogen and later oxygen. So hydrogen is there. Thirdly, you have to balance hydrogen, and lastly, you have to balance oxygen. Okay, follow this order and try to balance now. Okay, now let us list out how many atoms of calcium is there in reactant side as well as product side. Okay, so how many calcium are there in reactant side? Here one calcium is there, here this is also reactant, this is also reactant, no? Okay, so here one calcium is there, here one calcium is there, all together 2 calciums, guys. Okay, but in the product side, how many calciums are there? Only 1. So where you have to start putting a digit? Here you have to start putting a digit. Okay, so don't change anything within a formula. Okay, so here product side you have to make 2 because here 2 calciums are there. No, product side also you should make 2 calcium atoms. How do you make 2 calcium atoms? Start putting a digit with 2. Okay, so once you have put 2, now this 2 belongs to calcium also, this 2 belongs to carbon also, and this 2 belongs to oxygen also. Okay, so now you made calcium atoms 2 by putting this digit there. Okay, wherever calcium is there, there only you should put. Otherwise, there is no use, no? Yes, fine. So calcium work is over. Here we had 2 calciums. There now we got 2 calciums. Okay, now let us talk about the guy called carbon. This is a non-metal. Okay, how many carbons are there this side? See, carbon, but the whole bracket together 2. That means this 2 belongs to carbon also. It means there are 2 carbons, guys. Okay, this 2 can belong to hydrogen, this 2 can belong to carbon, this 2 can belong to oxygen. Can you tell me how many oxygens are there? 3 into 2, 6 oxygens. Okay, in this formula alone, there are 6 oxygens, 2 carbons, 2 hydrogens and 1 calcium. This 2 will not belong to calcium. Okay, so this 2 can belong to the stuffs which are there within a bracket. Okay, so how many carbons are there, guys? 2 carbons are there. And coming here, how many carbons are there? Carbon is here in the product side. This 2, once you have put 2 left side the formula, that 2 can belong to calcium, it can belong to carbon, it can belong to oxygen also. Okay, so now this 2 can belong to carbon also, no? So how many carbons are there? Carbons are 2. So it is balanced. Left side 2 carbons are there, right side also 2 carbons are there. No need to balance carbon atoms. Okay, go for the next step, balancing hydrogen. List out how many hydrogens are there, guys. How many are there? Here 2 hydrogen. This 2 belongs to this hydrogen also, no? So here 2 hydrogens are there and here also 2 hydrogens are there. Yes, altogether in the reactant side you have 4 hydrogens. Yes or no? 2 hydrogens in this formula and 2 hydrogens in this formula. Yes, this 2 means what? There are 2 oxygen and 2 hydrogens. This 2 means what? There are 2 hydrogens, 2 carbons and 6 oxygens. 3 2s are 6. Okay. So altogether here 2 hydrogens are there, here 2 hydrogens are there. Altogether 4 hydrogens are there in the reactant side. And product side, try to find out how many hydrogens are there, guys. How many are there? Hydrogens? Only, hydrogens 2 are there. Yes or no? H2O, 2 hydrogens are there. That means where are lesser number of hydrogens? Product side. So you need to balance there by putting a digit. Okay. So here I have to put a digit. What digit I can put here initially? Put 2 and check. If you put 2, what happens? 2 into 2. You have to do here 2 into 2, which is equal to 4. 2 into 2, 4. Yes or no? So when I put 2 there, now it became 4 in the product side. So here you had 4 H atoms and after putting 2, it became 4. Now hydrogen's balancing is over. Okay. Now check with the oxygen atoms. Okay. So here how many oxygen atoms are there, guys? Carefully you have to count. Okay. 3, O3 into 2. This 2 belongs to this oxygen also. 3 into 2. How many, guys? 6. From this formula you have 6 oxygens. And here how many are there, guys, from this formula? This 2 belongs to oxygen also. 2, isn't it? 6 plus 2 how many? 8 oxygens are there. So altogether in the reactant side, how many oxygen atoms, guys? 8 oxygen atoms are there. Now let us check it in the product side. This 2 can belong to oxygen also. Already 3 are there. This 2 also belongs to oxygen. So multiply 2 into 3, how much, guys? 6. Yes or no? 6 plus this 2 can belong to oxygen also. Once you have put 2 here, this 2 belongs to hydrogen as well as oxygen. So 2. 6 plus 2, how much, guys? 8. Oxygen is already balanced. Okay. Here you have 8 oxygens. There also you have 8 oxygens. So now this is a balanced chemical equation. Okay. Just on putting 2 here and here, all your elements will get balanced. Okay. And purposefully I took this example because to explain about this point. You have to balance as a group when groups are there in the products also. Otherwise, you should not consider them as groups. Consider the separate elements and then balance according to a rule. Okay. So while counting, you have to be careful. So here, how do you count, guys? Oxygen 3 into 2, 6 like that. Okay. So here, if it is there, 2 into 3 like this you will count. Okay. Here, hydrogens 2 into 2, 4. There you have to multiply. Clear, everybody? Okay. So when you practice with more examples, you will become perfect with the balancing. When you don't practice, this remains as an alien topic only. But balancing has 2 important limitations that you have to remember. Before discussing the limitations, let us try to figure out what information can you get out of balancing. See, you can get about what reactants are reacting and what products are forming, and you can also tell about how much amount of reactants are reacting and how much amount of product is forming. That is also you can tell. So various aspects you can tell just by looking at the balanced chemical equation. Okay, but two factors you cannot tell just by looking at the balanced equations. They are called the limitations. Let us just have a look at the limitations now. Limitations of balancing. Okay, so the first limitation is the balanced equation will not tell about the speed of the reaction. Yes or no? It will not tell about the speed of reaction. The speed of reaction. This is one limitation. Okay, so in how much time the reaction is getting completed, all that you will not come to know just by looking at balanced equation. Okay, and also it will not tell about completion of the reaction. Okay, it will not tell about completion of reaction. Okay, you will not come to know whether a reaction is completed or not. Okay, so these are the two limitations that you have to remember on balanced chemical equation. Fine. So with this, I complete this session, and in my next video, we will talk about relative atomic mass, relative molecular mass, as well as the most important topic, the percentage composition. Okay, so better revise the whole concept and do check the description area for the previous video links, and subscribe our channel for more updates to learn the chemistry in an easier way. Thank you so much.